This week on the No More Late Fees podcast, we are joined by our dear friend and Selena stan, Stephanie. Welcome, Stephanie.
Hey guys.
So Stephanie and I worked together when I was a teacher in a past life, but we fangirl over a lot of the same things and we love trivia and movies and stuff. So Steph and I have become really close. And then Danielle, of course, met Stephanie through me. And so Stephanie grew up in Corpus, correct?
Yes, I moved there in 5th grade. My dad was in the Navy, so we moved around a bit, but that's where we planted our roots and that's where I grew up.
So, of course, when we asked Stephanie which movie she wanted to do on the podcast eventually, there was no question that she had to do Selena with us. So your time has come, Stephanie. Selena is here. Are you ready for this challenge?
I hope so.
You know, you're supposed to say you were born ready, Stephanie.
Yeah, I know. My dad's going to tell me that later. Like, come on, you were born ready. So, yeah. I was born ready. Dang it. Already messed up.
I love when you read us his text messages and tweets.
That man, that sweet, sweet man.
So tell us about your experience with Selena and how you became a fan.
So when I moved to Corpus Christi in 5th grade, which I think was around 95, she had already passed away. And I came from California. My family wasn't really big into Tejano music, but moving to Corpus Christi, it was just everywhere. And so my parents, like every weekend we would go and we'd listen to Tejano music. Johnny Canales is like, he has this show where he features so many Tejano artists and we would go and see it. And I just fell in love with the music. And then being in Corpus, I mean, you can't go like 1 foot without hearing about Selena. And, you know, when I moved there, we were just like, I would learn about her, read about her. There were kids in my class that would be like, oh yeah, I'm related to her. And I'm like, is everyone related to her? Why am I not related to her?
You should have said, I know you lying.
I was a kid. So I was like, oh, cool. You're her cousin too? Oh man, Mom, am I related? Because she married Chris Bettis. So I was like, we must be related somehow. But just being in Corpus, you know, talking with the people there and just listening to her music. My parents would buy, at that time, we'd buy her cassettes and then her CDs. And the more I listened, the more I was like, gosh, this woman was amazing. And she had something and she was going somewhere. And then as I grew older, it was like her music just kept transcending time, whether you were in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, like you said her name and people were like, oh yeah, Bidi Bidi Bum Bum. Oh my God, that song's amazing. So I think just moving there and being immersed in that community that just loved her so much, like you were bound to learn about her and just love her.
I love that. So do you remember when you first saw the movie, how that experience was?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it recently, like, did I see it in theaters? I could have sworn I did. And I mean, and watching it in Corpus as well, it was just this, you know, yeah, you have to go see it. I'm like, is anyone in Corpus, is there anyone that hasn't seen it? So yeah, it was this just, we're going to go see it. We're all going to go as a family. And I think I was, of course, at the edge of my seat, just like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh my gosh, who's this girl playing her? This is exciting. I think at one point, every little girl in Corpus was like, I want to play her like the child version. And everyone's like, who's going to go try out? And I'm like, I don't know if I can, but it was just a time of like everyone talking about this film being made and, you know, oh, I'm going to sign up as an extra or all this banter going on. But like, yeah, just the energy of going in and watching it in that community, it was awesome.
Did you watch the TV show?
Yes, the Netflix series.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I loved about it was it just went more in depth because like the movie, I feel like there's so much you can do in 2 hours.
Right.
And then a series is like, oh wait, we can like expand on like her younger years and like
Yeah.
talk about like this part of her life. And so I really liked it because I just loved getting more details and just seeing her grow and evolve more instead of like quick scene change and it's like, oh, she has long hair now. Oh, it must be a different time. So yeah, I really liked how in depth that one was.
I watched part 1. I didn't watch part 2 yet. I guess it's because it's just like, you know, normally when I watch a Selena movie, like I just stop it right before the end because I just,
you know it's coming.
Right. So I was like, and everyone was like giving it so much shit when the TV show came out. And for me, I was just like, I'm always down for more Selena. And I think that's what makes this hard, right? Because like you look at Jennifer Lopez and this movie cemented her as a popular culture icon, right?
Yeah.
And so you look at the movie and you're like, no one else could play her. But like, you know, Selena is a real person, especially if you knew who Selena was before the movie. Like if you were introduced to Selena with the movie, then I think there's an attachment to Selena, J-Lo playing the role. And so then you're like, no one else could play her. But if you knew Selena beforehand, as much as J-Lo like embodied her, you're like, that's still not Selena, obviously. And the same with anybody else playing. I mean, I will, and we'll get into it in the episode, like obviously J-Lo raised the bar on how well she portrayed Selena's character, but I wasn't like, I didn't have this fighting feeling like we can't have any more Selena content per se. And I don't think the actress that played Selena was horrible. In any way. I mean,
but she was no J-Lo.
I mean, it was just different. I think that's the thing. It was definitely different. And I think from my perspective, I looked at it as a different medium, I guess you could say. So you can't compare the two. You really can't. And like Stephanie said, the details were great. Like getting to see how much in the beginning, like all the processes that they did to, you know, before she got to the level of acknowledgement, but like doing all those little shows and her playing around with her fashion, how much she was really into almost more than the singing aspect of it. She like loved it. You get to see the 80s, early 90s style too. So it was fun. I mean, was it a little low budget in some points? Yes, absolutely. I also like that we got to see a little bit more about the family too, like their individual characteristics and stuff. How much AB played a role in like writing all that music
and producing.
Right. I mean, not to like, obviously Selena was Selena, but it was the entire family kind of building this whole perfect storm, I guess you could say. Like I didn't even realize how much AB wrote all those songs. Like I had no idea. And it wasn't until, you know, I started to look at that TV show and I was like, oh my God. No idea.
Because like the movie touched on it a little bit when, you know, when he was young and he's like, we need new material. And then you see him in the bus, older, like writing a song with Pete. And so you kind of get a glimpse of it. But yeah, like the series really expanded on that. And, you know, and just to touch on like what you had said, like there's always like, there's one Selena and everyone that plays her, it's like, yeah, like J-Lo wasn't her. And this, you know, the girl that played her in the series, like, I just go into it like you, like I'm all for more Selena material. Like whoever's going to play her is going to play her. But like, let's just like enjoy what's in front of us. And yeah, there's so many critics and so many, you know, big fans that are like, well, like J-Lo is Boricua and like, why is she playing a Mexican American? Or like, why this girl doesn't have a big butt? Why is she doing Selena? And it's like, guys, like no one is going to ever be her. But you know what? We're going to try to get as close as we can and just enjoy the show.
Well, one thing we did mention is that Stephanie is a huge music fan, a musician herself, which very exciting. She is working on our theme song, which we are stoked about. So we thought we'd do a rank 'em Selena soundtrack edition.
Ooh.
So we will be giving you different Selena songs from the soundtrack, and you won't know which one's coming,
Don't do
and you'll have to rank.
I knew
She's
you were
gone.
gonna say
Stephanie
that.
left.
I was like, just let me be able to move them around, and I knew you were gonna say that.
And you're going to have to rank them without knowing which one is next. So buckle up.
I think I'm ready for this. I think I know where you're
You
going
got
with
it?
Mhm.
You good? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get to her.
Ooh.
So our first one, Bidi Bidi Bum Bum.
Oh my god. I mean, that has to be number one. That's my go-to karaoke song. Like that song, no matter, I remember being in a nail salon and that song came on and everyone was in their chair, all different races, all different colors, were like, oh yeah, Bidi Bidi Bum. And I'm like, everybody knows it. Like it has, no, it's number one.
I love
Just
that.
in the game.
Como la Flor?
You're giving me 5 songs, right?
6.
6.
Man, I'm trying to think what your other ones are gonna be. I'll probably put this one at number 3.
Next, Dreaming of You.
Such a good one. Always brings a tear to my eye. Man, I don't know where you're going with this one, but I will put this one. I'll put this one at number 2. Oh Lord, help me with 4 and 5.
I Could Fall in Love.
Yeah, I'll put this at 4.
No me
Great song too.
queda más. Did I say that right?
Yeah, no me queda más. Yeah, I'll put this at 5. Or yeah. Wait, yeah, because there's 6. No, I'll put this at 5. I'll put it at 5.
Okay. And
That's
our
my
last
last
one, going out number 6. I can't
Yeah.
say this. Baila esta cumbia.
Yeah.
Ah.
Girl.
Look at me.
Don't inflate our head. We are not Spanish speakers around here.
Hey, it's all about trying and attempting, and hey, that was
I got literal feedback the last time I tried to speak Spanish on the show, and someone said, let's not next time.
Ooh.
So Danielle, we got you.
So
good.
since we're doing Selena and it's a biopic, I figured the question for all of us today would be, which other artists would you like to see a biopic made for that hasn't been made yet?
I'm excited for the Whitney one coming out.
I was thinking that too. Kind of want a Dolly biopic.
Ooh, I would take, they could take all my money to see Dolly
All
Parton.
my money
Yeah.
to see Dolly.
I, like Selena, am a huge Donna Summer fan, and I would love to see a biopic of her because I think her life is amazing and the soundtrack would be killer. Also, I believe that in my real universe, because I don't believe the one I'm in right now is mine, she didn't die. Yet, at least. I don't know what happened here. But when somebody said she had died back in blah, 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 I was like, no, that's not true.
You were just manifesting.
No, I'm telling you, this shit didn't happen in my universe. I don't know what this fucking hell zone is where Donna Summer's dead, but it's not one I know to exist.
It's here.
How about
Sorry.
you, Stephanie?
I was, after Selena, my other favorite artist that I love is Amy Winehouse. So
Ooh.
I loved her documentary about her. Every now and then that's something that I'll rewatch, but I would love to see like something more.
I think they're actually working on a biopic for her. I might be wrong, but I believe I saw something about that.
I would love that one. And I really love Gladys Knight, and I can't wait for,
Oof.
I love her so much. I got to see her in Austin with my parents last year. I cried. Just love her. And
That would be great. Like all of them, like her, just lost it. Well, oh, Patti LaBelle, Patti for sure. I do want to say I love me some Patti, but I went to her concert and Patti, where them lines at? And I heard she's notorious for this. She don't remember her
Really?
lines. Nah.
no.
But you know what? It's Patti, so like I can't really be mad at her. But at one point, no lie, Patti just put the microphone out to the audience and said, "Y'all know this." I'm not joking.
No. Oh my gosh. No.
Also, Etta James would be amazing. I saw her at the Blue Note a few years back, and it was the best concert in my entire existence. And I know no one else will beat that. That woman
That's amazing.
could blow. Her microphone stopped working and she said, "Fuck it." Like literally, the woman cursed like a sailor, which makes me love her even more. And she just put the microphone down and sang, and it filled the whole room. Not many artists, if any, could do that nowadays.
Yeah.
Did
Oh
you
my
find out,
God.
Jackie?
I did. According to an article from July 29th, 2022, the story of Amy Winehouse is going to be put out. It's titled Back to Black. And Sam Taylor Johnson is directing.
Ugh.
And then
She's a predator. Continue.
And then Marisa Abella is the lead.
Don't know who that is,
Abella.
unless I saw pictures.
It says she's from Industry.
Oh, there's a TV show on HBO.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Fun times.
So, Stephanie, as you know, Jackie and I worked at Blockbuster. And when we worked there, we would be able to suggest a few of our favorites, and it would be put on the employee picks wall. You are now an honorary member of the Blockbuster family, by extension of us. So we want you to pick 3 movies from 1995 to 2005 that you would include in employee picks.
I literally was thinking.
I love how she acts surprised, but she knew this was coming.
She knew.
I've been thinking, and then my like ADHD brain like loses it, and I'm like,
well,
squirrel. Okay, I knew one of them. I mean, ideally, I would love to say D2 Mighty Ducks, but that was, I think, 94.
Look here. Let me look here. Look here.
Look at you and your eyeball.
I just want you to know that all the Mighty Ducks movies are going to be on this goddamn podcast.
I mean, number 2 is like my brothers and I still quote it to this day. Like, it's one of our favorites.
Greenland is covered with ice, and everything is very nice.
I mean, it's knuckle puck time. Like,
oh, so corny. And I ate
He's
it up.
fancy. He'll go stick.
And then he comes out in the next film as a different.
I'm like, Scooter, it's just Gunner redressed with a different accent.
They thought we
Oh
wouldn't
my
know.
God.
They thought we wouldn't know this.
Like, wait a minute. You look familiar. Can they not find a single other teenage hockey player to be in these goddamn movies?
Not that
I know.
one that looked that cute. Just saying. He's a CITYGUYS guy. I used to love City Guys.
Yes. I remember when I talked to myself, I was like, ideally, I would want D2. But if I couldn't, then I would want to pick movies that really shaped me in my like childhood or something, or like my whole movie
Like
brain.
Xenon, 21st Century Girl? No?
No.
Not
Okay,
Danielle.
my
Not
bad.
Danielle.
and not Parent Trap or It Takes
It Takes Two.
I'm getting a bad rap. I do love Parent Trap, but
I
it is
know.
not like my favorite all-time movie.
You said it was your comfort movie. You watched that shit all the goddamn
It
time.
is. It's a comfort movie. You're missing the letter.
Yes.
It's important.
Chessie, man. Chessie.
Chessie was the shining star of that film.
But if I had to pick three other ones. I definitely like Tommy Boy was a big one in my family. Billy Madison, which you guys have done, and I know how much Daniel loves that one.
So much fun.
And then the third one, I was like, man, what movie really just like shook me? And it was The Sixth Sense. And I just remember we talked about that movie. It was one of those, after you saw it, you could just look at someone and go, am I right? What was that? You got too?
I didn't get got.
No,
Really?
Danielle spoiled it.
Yeah, I lost a friendship because of that movie.
I remember seeing that one in theaters, and that movie and the Blair Witch Project, I remember seeing it in theaters, and everyone, the whole like, I'm like, oh man, oh, this is what it feels like when we're all
together.
If you have any hot takes on the Selena soundtrack, or if you're a Mighty Ducks fan, hey, hit us up on our social handles on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, at No More Late Fees, and stay tuned for our Selena episode with Stephanie later this week.
And as always, be kind and rewind.